All right, so today we continue our lesson in chapter 4, and we are still in section 2 about Western African civilizations. And today, specifically lesson 2, we will learn about the Kingdom of Ghana. Go ahead, open your books, or go log into our LODA-USD website and Cengage Learning, National Geographic. And we are in Unit 2, Chapter 4, and we are doing Section 2, West Africa, Lesson 2, the Kingdom of Ghana. This lesson's objective is to describe the rise of the Kingdom of Ghana and the events that led to its decline. And the essential question for this chapter is, what impact did trade and technology have on North and West Africa? So trade was a key factor in Ghana's development as a powerful empire. So lesson 2.2 discusses how trade and other influences affected the Kingdom of Ghana. Now, before we get into the details of this lesson, let's take a look at the review and assess questions. For number 1, reading check. How did the Kingdom of Ghana become so powerful? And number 2, compare and contrast. What was similar and what was different about Ghana's rulers controlled of salt and gold? And number 3, interpret maps. What important role do you think the Niger River played in the Kingdom of Ghana? Although their names are the same, the Kingdom of Ghana and modern-day nation called Ghana are only slightly related. The Ghana Empire was located about 400 miles northwest of present-day Ghana, and the origins of Ghana are somewhat murky. Although one prominent theory is that the number of Sunni clans united under a single ruler who was considered to be a semi-divine or demigod. The clans may have united to withstand attacks from nomads seeking new territory. Thanks largely to the Arab writers, the kingdom's wealth is well documented. One writer described Ghana's gold mines as the richest of the earth. Ghana's eventual decline is attributed to a number of factors, including drought and the loss of its trading monopoly, as well as invasions by the Almoravids. Geographically, Ghana is located in West Africa and is sandwiched between Ivory Coast and Togo. The northern border of the country in Burkina Faso and the southern border is the Gulf of Guinea. The country is slightly smaller than the state of Oregon, and the landscape consists mainly of plains and low plateaus covered by rainforest in the west and Lake Volta in the east. Ghana's kings made their money by taxing salt and other trade goods as they entered and departed the kingdom. Ghana's rulers also strictly controlled the flow of gold. All gold nuggets automatically belonged to the king, and only gold dust could be traded. These rules ensured that gold remained scarce, which kept gold prices high. So if there's a high demand for something and it's rare, it becomes expensive. Trade goods also included textiles, weapons, horses, and even bananas. As trans-Saharan trade expanded, caravans carrying goods grew longer, sometimes numbering several hundred camels. And in fact, there is a record that sometimes caravans go with 12,000 camels or more. Now, before the Europeans arrived in search of gold, the west coast of Africa was part of an ancient trade route. In 1471, Portuguese traders came ashore and noticed that the local people wore gold jewelry. Eventually, people from Portugal, Denmark, the Netherlands, Germany, and Britain came to the Gold Coast to search for gold. The British took control of the country in the 20th century and declared the Gold Coast a colony of the British Empire. So in 1957, the Gold Coast gained its independence from Britain and became known as Ghana. After many corrupt governments, Ghana's new leader by 1981, Jerry Rawlings, vowed to stop corruption. Democracy involving many parties started in 1992 when a new constitution was adopted. So like all societies, Ghana was affected by outside influences. During the 700s, Arab traders brought Islam and Islamic laws to West Africa. Traders and others learned to speak and write Arabic. Up to that point, people living in West Africa had not had a written language, so they usually transfer their knowledge to the next generation through storytelling, which will be in our next lessons about the griots, the ones who pass the history of the village or even kingdom to the next generation by oral tradition. Now, to summarize, number one, Ghana became powerful through trade. And number two, Ghana's rulers controlled trade of both salt and gold, and they controlled gold by controlling the mines and the salt by taxing it, and most of the time taxing it heavy. A lot of money that they collect from those who are working in those mines. And number three, what important role do you think the Niger played in the Kingdom of Ghana? The answer is it was a natural barrier to Ghana's south and a mode of transportation and trade to the other regions, which is basically the main advantage of living next to a body of water, specifically a river. Okay, so that's our lesson for today, Chapter 4, Section 2.2, the Kingdom of Ghana.